Hey everybody, it is Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to my 1 to 99 Firemaking and Wintertodt guide. In this video, we'll start with the basics of firemaking and jump right into the leveling guide using normal logs. Afterwards will be the Wintertodt portion of the guide, which will likely be the majority of the video. And finally, we will talk about Pyre Logs briefly before wrapping up. If you've been enjoying the videos lately, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. I also stream on Twitch, which should be linked on the screen and in the description. Firemaking is an extremely simple skill. You just use a tinderbox and some logs, and your character will try and light a fire. With high enough firemaking level, you will not fail to light fires, and you can basically just walk while you're lighting them. There's a couple of ticks between each time that you light a log, so if you walk between logs, you can actually walk in either direction while making fires. This is useful for making sure that you finish your last log like really close to a bank so that you minimize time that you spend banking. Best place to do this would be the grain exchange, as you're allowed to light a fire dangerously close to the banker. I'm a fan of just using a Varrock teleport and getting to the center of Varrock and just lighting logs, which like auto walk you to the West Varrock Bank. You can also use logs on a fire that is already lit, and it will turn that fire into a forester's campfire. At the forester's campfire, you can use logs on this, and your character will automatically add more logs to the fire, giving you some AFK fire making experience, but you get 1/3 of the XP that you normally would get while you do this, so I don't suggest it that much. In this video, anytime that I mention how many logs you need for certain levels, I'll be assuming that you're lighting them the traditional way, getting the full XP per log. If you plan on using forestry campfires, you will have to triple that number. You can also rest at one of these campfires, but that's just a cosmetic thing. You don't get any bonuses for this. Let's get into the leveling guide. At level 1, you can do regular logs, but you can also color them with firelighters as well, which adds a little bit of XP per log, bumping you from 40 to 50 XP apiece. You also will never fail at lighting a colored log, so it's very good XP per hour even at low levels. You will need 449 colored logs for these levels, and the grand exchange limit is 250 firelighters every 4 hours, so you do probably need 2 types of firelighters, and red and blue are the cheapest at the moment. Now, you also have to spend time actually coloring the logs, which doesn't take too long, so it's a little bit of an annoyance. If you don't want to send color logs, maybe too much of an annoyance, or like you're an Iron Man without the firelighters, instead you could do levels 1 to 15 with regular logs, which would require 61 of them, and then 15 to 35 you can do oak logs, which would require 334 logs for these levels. From 35 to 45, you can switch to teak logs, and you'll need 373 logs for these levels. You could switch to Arctic pines at 42 for a little bit better XP. I just really don't find it worth it for just those couple of levels. 45 to 50 firemaking, you can go for maple logs, requiring 295 of them. When you get to 50 firemaking is when you can switch to Wintertodt, but it is still faster XP an hour just to stick to traditional firemaking. So right now we're going to finish up the leveling guide with regular logs, then we'll talk about Wintertodt afterwards. 50 to 60, you can do mahogany logs, and you'll need 1,095 logs for these levels. 60 to 75 firemaking, you can burn yew logs, and it will require 4,626 of them. 75 to 90 firemaking, you can send magic logs. At this point, it's starting to get expensive to train firemaking, so if you don't have the money to literally burn on firemaking XP, then you should either send Wintertodt or stick to some low-level, cheaper logs. You will need 13,614 magic logs for levels 75 to 90. Finally, for 90 to 99 firemaking, you can burn redwood logs, requiring 21,966 logs to finish out these levels. It's a lot of logs for wrapping up 99, but you can get over 500k XP an hour while doing redwood logs at like perfect pace, so it will be pretty quick overall. Now let's get into that Wintertodt guide. Wintertodt is a skilling boss that is located in the northern area of the Great Core End. It's basically a firemaking minigame. The best way to get there would be using the teleport on the games necklace. You can walk there as well, since there is a bank. It's not like you have to make this travel very often. You could get there one time and just go like all the way to 99 firemaking. I highly suggest just using the games necklace though. You will need an axe and a tinderbox to participate. You'll also want to have a hammer and a knife with you, and all of these items are available in the crates within the doors of Wintertodt. The goal is very simple. You need to chop these Burma roots to get some logs that you can then use on the brazier to damage Wintertodt. You can fletch these logs, which will give you more reward points each. If you fletch logs, you'll get a little bit less firemaking XP overall, but you'll also get some fletching XP in the process, which is nice. The storm can break the brazier, which you will need a hammer to repair. As long as you have a player-owned home, you'll also get construction XP when repairing it, so early accounts should make sure to buy a house before you start Wintertodt. Once the brazier is repaired, you will need a tinderbox to light it. If the pyromancer is KO'd, then you won't be able to light the brazier, but you can heal them with a rejuvenation potion. You get the unfinished potion from the crates in the lobby, and then the herb to actually finish it can be picked from either of these 2 spots in the arena. You will get a 4-dose potion when you make it, so it could last you a couple of rounds, unless maybe you're soloing or you're the only one there actually healing the pyromancer. The whole time that you're fighting Wintertodt, trying to burn logs and kill this giant winter storm, you will be taking damage from that storm occasionally, sometimes a little bit more than occasionally. When you do get hit by the storm, it'll stop whatever action you're doing other than wood cutting. Your character will always continue to chop the roots, but if you're like fletching or you're filling up the brazier, then getting hit by Wintertodt will stop your character and you'll have to click back on the brazier or like back on your logs and your knife again. Turning on your in-game sound effects will make this very obvious when you get hit, which is kind of nice for anybody trying to multitask or just in general pay less attention to their Wintertodt grind. Wearing warm gear will reduce the damage that you take when you get hit. 4 pieces of warm gear will max out your protection, so you only need up to 4 pieces. There's a lot of different warm pieces that you can use. In my opinion, the easiest warm outfit pieces would be the Staff of Fire, the Fire Tiara, and then I would go grab the Clue Hunter gloves and boots, which can both be obtained by just digging on this spot, which is located south of the Fishing Guild or north of Ardoin. All you need is a spade to dig up these 2 Clue Hunter pieces. I've left a link to the wiki's full list of warm items in the description. Having a higher firemaking level will also reduce the amount of damage that you take, so you'll slowly take less damage as you keep leveling up. The damage that you take also is scaled based on your hit points level, so if you do Wintertodt with a low level, you're not going to take as much damage each time you're hit, which will make your food last longer. Now, I've done a lot of Wintertodt with 99 hit points as well, and it's really not that bad, so you don't have to feel like you missed out if you've already leveled up your hit points. So basically, you run into the room, light up the brazier when it starts, and just start chopping logs. You could fletch them if you want, which is a little bit better for reward points. So personally, I make sure to fletch the logs until I'm up to the minimum 500 points to get a rewards chest. And then after reaching that 500 point threshold, just do regular logs for the rest of the time. Anytime I can fix or light the brazier, I make sure to hit that, but it's really very, very simple to send some Wintertodt. If you get at least 500 reward points, then you'll get a rewards crate. Every 250 points after 500 will guarantee that that chest has an extra reward in it, but you only need to hit at least 500 for the crate in the first place. These rewards are mostly supplies like logs, gems, ores, herbs, and such. The higher level you have in the skill that correlates with your loot, the higher tier loot you will receive. For example, if you have a higher mining level, you will get better ores and better uncut gems from the supply crate. There are a few unique rewards as well. You can get a piece of the Pyromancer outfit. Wearing this outfit while firemaking, you will get some bonus firemaking XP, up to 2.5% for the full outfit. Do note, though, that the warm gloves are not actually part of the Pyromancer outfit. They're just a cosmetic item. Next, you have the Bruma Torch, which is a wieldable light source, and it does count as a warm item. You can get the Tome of Fire, which can be wielded in your shield slot as a magic shield. You can charge this book with burnt pages, another item obtainable from Wintertodt. The charged Tome of Fire will count as a source of fire runes while you have it equipped, similar to like having a Staff of Fire, but it's in your shield slot rather. Also, when you use fire spells while you're wielding a charged tome, it will increase your max hit by 10%. There's also a pet at Wintertodt. The Phoenix is a 1 in 3,000 chance. Now, that's not 1 in 3,000 reward crates, but rather 3,000 individual rewards. So if you see 2 different loots from 1 crate, that means you actually had 2 rolls towards any of these unique rewards. Finally, you can get a Dragon Axe at a 1 in 10,000 rate. This is the only way to get the Dragon Axe without fighting the Dagannoth Kings. If you have any questions about the Wintertodt minigame, be sure to let me know in the comments section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Lastly, I want to mention Pyre Logs a little bit. Pyre Logs are created by using sacred oil on regular logs. You get slight firemaking XP for doing this part, but really not that much. You can then light these Pyre Logs along with some shade remains on one of the funeral pyres, which are located in Morton, a city located southeast of the Mortmire Swamp. When you light the Pyre Logs and some remains, you will get firemaking XP and prayer XP, and then you'll also get a small reward, either a few coins or a key. These keys can be used in the Shade Catacombs, which is located in this dungeon in the north part of the city. There are some chests within the dungeon that'll give you various loots like alkables and battle staves, some runes and stuff. This is how you make up for the money that you would spend on the remains and the Pyre Logs. I do have a video that'll be linked in the description that gives a little bit more information about using the catacombs and looting with those keys. Overall, you don't get a lot of XP per hour doing this. It's kind of solid getting XP in both firemaking and prayer gains, but I highly suggest sending either traditional firemaking or Wintertodt for actually knocking out some firemaking levels. That's about everything that I wanted to talk about when it comes to firemaking gains, everybody. If you have any questions about the guide, let me know in the comments section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video or you just got some useful information out of it, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you very much for watching and best of luck on your firemaking gains.